Hey everyone, this is Adam Brown from diaTribe. I just got home from a bike ride and I'm hankering for some waffles, and so I thought it would be cool to film how I make low-carb almond flour coconut waffles in case people want to make them themselves. So first thing you need is a waffle iron. I use a Dash Mini, which is about 15 bucks, and makes one waffle at a time, but I find it's pretty awesome and compact. And so you'll plug it in, let it heat up, and then while it does that, you need 2 eggs. So you'll crack your eggs, and whisk your eggs together like this. And once they're nice and whisked, you'll put it aside and get your almond flour, and you need 1.5 cups of almond flour. So this is a 1/2 cup scooper, so that's 1/2 cup. And I buy the almond flour off Amazon from a company called Anthony's, but really any almond flour will do. And so that's 1.5 cups of almond flour. And put that aside, and then we'll combine it like that. And then the recipe calls for about 1/4 cup of coconut milk. I'll just kind of eyeball it with a big hearty teaspoon, but it doesn't really have to be exact. And you'll whisk all this together till it makes a nice batter. And you might have to just kind of really get in there and whisk it up good. Meanwhile, of course, the waffle iron is heating up while you're making this batter. And then you have a nice thick batter like that. And let's see what's next. Shredded coconut. So these are unsweetened coconut flakes, and I actually have some cacao nibs in here, which are kind of like unsweetened chocolate chips basically. So it calls for 1/4 cup, but I'll just put in a little bit like that. And one of the things I like about this recipe is you can kind of pull toppings out or put toppings in depending on what you like. So put a little bit of cinnamon in there, and a little bit of vanilla extract, and a little bit of salt. And then finally, fairly key step is 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. So put that in there, and then we'll whisk all of this together. Make a good batter. And it's a pretty thick batter, so, but it works pretty well. That. And then meanwhile, the waffle iron's heating up, getting pretty hot, so I'll throw some of the batter on here. And it actually doesn't, because it's gonna rise, it doesn't need to look full on here. So we'll throw that on there, close the top, and then now we wait. All right, so it's been about 3.5 minutes, and while my waffle was cooking, you can see it's not perfectly shaped, but you definitely know it's homemade. While I was cooking, I got some frozen raspberries and put them in the micro for a little bit, and I really like topping these guys with frozen raspberries. And then you just basically throw a little more batter on, close the lid, and you have another waffle. And another thing I love about these is they're super filling, really high in fiber, and they keep really well. And highly recommend. So I hope people find this useful, and we'll link to the recipe in the notes to this video. Thanks so much for watching.